Suddenly now you're talking with your phone like you would be talking with another human being. And as we think about human behavior and this over dependence, we can, one, not only start to form unhealthy emotional bonds with the technology because now it's behaving more and more like a person, and the lines between the technology and, say, your friend suddenly get blurred, and suddenly you can start talking with it as though, well, why would I call my friend and talk through what I'm going through when I can actually just pull up my AI assistant and talk through and maybe get some advice and feedback. And I think there can be some healthy uses of that. I am concerned that we don't always have the wherewithal to do that in a healthy way and can become over dependent and not realize some of the unintended consequences that can come with that. I think the other part with that, and again, with that one, when you think about it being integrated into your mobile device, it just becomes that much more risky for us. And I think we need to be very careful with how much we are engaging with it and how we're engaging and for what purposes. Do I think it's great that we'll be able to interact with AI on a more human level and work with it the way we work with a person when we're trying to problem solve? I think there's definitely some benefits to that. Am I concerned that we are going to become over reliant and over dependent on it for things, and in our complacency stop thinking, stop, really rustling through things and just go, I'm just going to talk to my AI agent to help me figure this stuff out? Yeah, I think that's a real risk that we need to be mindful of as we look at these advanced models and some of the capability coming out. The vision capability that, so actually, before I get to the vision, when you think about the fact that you're interacting with this now on a voice level, which you could before, but not to this degree, you got to remember this thing is now listening. So when I say AI has ears now with these new capabilities, it truly does, especially when you think about how people are going to interact with it. And if you think as it's listening to what you're saying, it's only hearing your voice and what you're asking, it's not. And I know this because even last night when I was playing with my kids, it was picking up other things that were happening. My wife was talking to one of the other kids in the other room, and it was picking that up and getting confused by what was being asked. And so when you start to think about now AI having ears to everything that's going on and some of the potential risks in terms of how are we using this with wisdom and discernment, and how are we being sure that we're not using this, or they're not being used for purposes that we aren't necessarily opting in for? Because again, once you say, yeah, go ahead and listen, you're authorizing that AI to say, yeah, listen to whatever's going on. You are giving it permission to do that. And so I think we need to be very mindful of that and think consciously about when are we actually engaging in that, because we are consenting to giving AI the ability to listen to whatever it is that's going on. And I think this is going to start bringing up some other concerns that people are going to have of, well, what if I'm giving consent to my AI to listen, but the other people in the room aren't giving consent to that AI to listen? And what does that potentially have implications for? I think the other part that is something we need to be mindful of is the fact it has eyes now. So this near real time ability to see things and interact with it and respond to it, contextualize the environment it's in. Yes, can that have some really great benefits for us? Sure. If you're trying to fix your sink and you can't quite figure out what's going on, or you're trying to do something and you go here, you want to be able to just show it a picture of it or a live video of it and have it be able to contextualize it, that can be really beneficial. But again, are we being really thoughtful, intentional about what are you giving it access to see? And are you thinking about the implications of that? Because it's going to become easy for us to become so over dependent on this that we just don't even put in the thought of, here, I'm turning my camera on so I can talk to my AI assistant, and what really am I authorizing it to see in my environment? And have I considered that before I just say, yeah, go ahead, take a look at what I'm doing here? Um, I was, again, impressed with its ability, with this vision capability, to detect and respond in an emotionally intelligent way. One of the demos I saw was talking about, looking, it was showing somebody on a camera and asking for feedback on how this person was. And it did a very good job of accurately and nearly instantaneously responding to what it was observing. Now, I know some people might see this and freak out. Some might see it and go, this is no big deal. To me, I'm right in the middle. And it's really more because of how we tend to be as people and some of the vulnerabilities we have that this now opens up for us and, where we may go with it.